Hello guys, you are welcome to my channel. So today I am going to be sharing with you 3 major challenges I faced as a first time mom. So if you're looking for a channel where you can learn from someone's life experiences, then you are at the right place. The whole essence of this channel is just to constantly share my daily experiences, past experiences, present experiences as a young babe, as a mom, as a wife, generally just sharing my experiences so that you or someone that you might know can learn from. Okay, so please ensure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that as soon as a new video is dropped, you will be the first to know. Okay, so having said that, I said I'm going to be sharing with you 3 major challenges I faced as a first time mom. Of course, there are lots of challenges people face. I actually faced a lot of challenges, okay, but these 3 that I'm going to be mentioning are major for me, okay. I don't know, you could have your own experiences, but these are my own major challenges I faced. Number 1 challenge I faced as a mom was my baby's health. When I had my baby, I had her on 3rd of July 2019, and it was on Wednesday at exactly 7:25 p.m. We actually remember these things. There are things that happen to us that you remember the exact day, the exact time. Yeah. Okay, so when I had my baby, she weighed 3.7 kg, and like I said, I had her on a Wednesday. Okay, so we were at the hospital till Friday when they discharged us. But while we are at the hospital, they actually found that my baby had jaundice, meaning her bilirubin levels were a bit high. But the doctor said, okay, it was something that could be managed. Like, all I needed to do was take her under the sunlight and she was going to be fine. But I should come back for a checkup on Monday. Yeah, so we got home, everything was fine, but unfortunately there was no sunlight because it was raining season that period. So I was searching for sunlight to take my baby under. I did not see sunlight. So guys, fast forward to Monday, I took my baby for her routine checkup, and immediately they ran a test on her. Her bilirubin levels had fired up, and immediately they had to admit my daughter. Challenge number 1. I can laugh about it because that was 2019, guys. It was not a funny experience. Like, I didn't even prepare for it. I just went to the hospital with my daughter for them to just check her, and I will come home, and immediately they told me, "Madam, you're not going back home. This baby has to be admitted like right now." So that's how we admitted on Monday, stayed till Thursday. She was receiving phototherapy and other treatments, and so by Thursday we were discharged. Thankfully, the bilirubin level had dropped. So they discharged us and we came back home. So life continued. I still went back, I think after a few days, went back for checkup, and she was actually doing fine. So that was the major challenge I faced. And because of that, when I took her for her second immunization, because her first immunization was a week after birth, after she was done with the whole treatment, I took her for her first immunization. Then at her 6 weeks immunization, my baby's weight had dropped to 3.5. Remember I said she was weighing 3.7 when I had her. That's how my baby was weighing 3.5 kg. I was sad, guys. Really, that period at the hospital was not a funny one for me, and was not a funny ordeal for her either. Spending 3 good nights at the hospital, no sleep. My husband had to go to work and all, because he had previously taken leave from work when we were having our baby, so he had to resume work, and of course nobody planned for these things. So thankfully a friend of mine, Tolani, came around, and she stayed with me at the hospital all through that period. So it was, like I said, nights of no sleep, because I had to constantly watch her while she was under that light. They had to close her eyes, and these babies, I don't know how they always know that something is blocking their view, even though they can't see at that stage. But my baby was always removing that fold, so I had to always watch her, so that whenever she does, I quickly cover it, and just ensure that her hand doesn't go there. So it was sleepless nights for me. It wasn't a funny period. I had not even recovered from childbirth. Childbirth was stressful. Was not so stressful. Anyways, maybe I'll give my childbirth story another day. But this is me sharing my 3 major challenges I faced as a first-time mom. So my baby's health was the first. So when I saw that my baby's weight dropped to 3.5 at her 6 weeks immunization, it wasn't encouraging. I was sad. I felt for her. I felt she had gone through a lot. Like, they were constantly pricking my baby to take blood, to run tests. They had to constantly check the levels to be sure that it was dropping. So every day when the nurse would come to take her blood, it was a very depressing time for me. Trust me, guys. It was a very hard time, but thankfully we pulled through. Now this is taking me to my second major challenge. Second major challenge I faced as a first-time mom was breastfeeding my baby. The whole breastfeeding thing, nobody told me it was actually going to be painful. Immediately I had my baby and I had to put her to breast. The whole breast engorgement, the whole pain, everything was crazy. Breastfeeding was not fun at the initial stage. It wasn't fun at all. And guys, my baby was always sucking. I know that most babies, especially newborn babies, they sleep a lot. They could spend 4 hours sleeping and all. Guys, my baby never slept for 4 hours. For the first 2 months, my baby never sleeps for 4 hours at a stretch. My baby was always sleeping like every 1 hour. Like, she's awake for 1 hour, she's breastfeeding for almost another hour, and then she sleeps for like an hour, and then the next 1 hour again. It was not a funny thing. Thankfully that period my mom was around, and I remember after my baby was a month, my mom had to start insisting that we should get my baby formula, that with the way she's breastfeeding and me, my own strength, like her looking at me and all that I've been through, that she wasn't sure I was going to be able to keep up with exclusive breastfeeding. But guys, I told my mom, I'm going to take this journey one step at a time. As often as my baby wants to breastfeed, I'll always put her to breast, and whatever comes out of my breasts, I just told myself, will be enough for her. Even if it's not enough, I'm sure that's why she was always sucking, because maybe she was not getting enough milk, so she would just keep sucking. But thankfully, guys, I'm glad I was determined to actually do that. And the fact I said my baby's health was a major challenge, that was another thing that motivated me to keep breastfeeding her. So when her weight dropped 3.5, I told myself, I'm going to breastfeed this child. No water, no formula, breast milk only. Thankfully, guys, when I took her for her immunization at 10 weeks, my baby's weight had improved from 3.5 kg to 4.2 kg. That's within a space of 4 weeks. Because remember, she was 6 weeks when I took her for her second immunization, and that was when she was weighing 3.5. So at 10 weeks, her weight had picked up to 4.2 kg. That was like a miracle. And so I kept at it. The breastfeeding thing at night was not funny either. Like, she'll wake up after 2 hours to breastfeed, sleep back, wake up the next 2 hours, breastfeed, sleep back. So that was how our routine was. And thankfully at the next immunization, her weight had picked up to or 5.3 or thereabout, and it just kept increasing. And guys, that's how I was taking this thing one day at a time. Well, thankfully I'm a stay-at-home mom. I can't imagine a working mom having to do exclusive breastfeeding, but I'm glad that I decided to make out the time for her. I decided to just give her the best care that I know I was capable of giving to her, and that was how we did it. Exclusive breastfeeding for 6 good months, guys. So breastfeeding was my second major challenge. When I had cracked nipple, the pain, everything was very unbearable at first, but with time it eased off and it got better. Another thing that helped was expressing milk. So I got a tip for expressing milk, guys, and I'm going to share this freely. Maybe you should try it out if you're a breastfeeding mom, or you're a first time mom, you just had your baby and you want to express milk. I got a tip. I don't know if it will work for you, but it worked for me, so I'm going to be sharing that now. Okay, so the breastfeeding hack I found out, honestly no one taught me this one. See, one major thing motherhood taught me is you will just think of ideas by yourself. Sometimes, yes, the internet actually helped me, but this one I just had to just look for a way, and thankfully it helped. So how I started expressing milk for my daughter, since she wakes every 2 hours at night to breastfeed, what I started doing is at night I would only breastfeed her on one breast. It's crazy because by morning the other one will be very painful because to get full, yeah. But I'm like, since she wakes every 2 hours, so when she wakes up I breastfeed her. So the next 2 hours I should be waking up, that same breast that I fed her from would have actually refilled. So I still breastfeed her. Say I'm breastfeeding only on the right breast, so I just keep breastfeeding her only on the right breast. And as I'm doing that through the night, the left one is getting full, yeah. So as early as maybe 6, 7 before she wakes up, I'll quickly go and express the one that I've stored up through the night. And I end up filling up her feeding bottle, yeah. So I just express and keep in the fridge. So before she wakes, since I've expressed, it starts filling up again. So that's how I started doing, like, every night, especially when we have to go out, like go to church, because I didn't like the idea of breastfeeding her in church or breastfeeding her when we go out. I mean, for me, I don't like the idea of bringing out my breast in the public. Yeah, I know, really, it's no big deal. This is just my own personal opinion. I'm like, since I have the breast pump and I can express breast milk, so why don't I just do it? So anytime I'm going to church or going out or going to visit someone, I just go with her expressed milk in the bottle, and that's what I feed her with, yeah. And not just only when we have to go out. When I want to get some rest, my husband or my mom at that time could help give her the already expressed milk, yeah. So that's how I survived breastfeeding my daughter, and I'm glad I did the exclusive breastfeeding for her. Really, it doesn't come easy. It takes lots of sacrifice, but I'm really glad I did, and it helped her recover from that illness quickly. She started gaining weight, and it made me happier. Even though I had to breastfeed my daughter for 17 months, at 6 months, I introduced her to solid food, and I was able to breastfeed her for 17 months. At 17 months, I weaned her. I will share a video later on how I successfully weaned my daughter, who was actually a breast addict. Whether it's breast addict or breast milk addict, she was just addicted to the breasts. Anyways, so that's how I did breastfeeding. Moving on to my third challenge. Now, the part where I had to choose between doing the house chores and getting enough rest. At the earlier stage of being a mom, it was hard. Suddenly my mind would just start calculating all I have to do. My mom stayed with me for 3 months, but really I wouldn't allow her to do anything. Her health wasn't in perfect shape then, so she only helped taking care of my daughter. Like, she would bathe her and tried making food, yeah. So I wouldn't want to even put her through any other form of stress. So every other house chore I had to do. So guys, you see that thing they say about when your baby is sleeping, go and sleep. Even I'm trying to sleep, my mind will be calculating all I have to do. How the house is dusty, I need it to be clean. How I have not done the plates, even though my mom often helped out with that. How I need to do baby's laundry, or I've not folded baby's clothes, or how everywhere just looks untidy. A lot was just always going on in my head, where I'm supposed to be sleeping when baby is sleeping, oh guys. So that was a challenge, having to choose between getting a proper rest that my body needed and doing the house chores. But I found out that really at that time I would always want to do everything at the same time. I want to quickly clean, because I just wanted everywhere to be clean or neat and convenient for myself and my baby. Yeah, my husband was at work, guys. He only had weekends, and really he helped out during the weekends, but I don't know how to take my eyes off something that is dirty. It would constantly haunt me. That's my kind of person. But guys, first month, second month, especially when my mommy left, I learned how to choose rest over work. I learned to do it one at a time. I told myself, babe, if this is the only thing you can do today, if you want to only sweep the sitting room, sweep it and go and lie down. The next day, if you want to only fold baby's clothes, fold it and go and lie down. The days I am not in the mood to cook, when I don't have strength to even cook at all, I'll just quickly send a message to my husband at work and tell him, please, can you get dinner on your way back? So thankfully, my husband was very supportive. He would just buy food for all of us while he's coming back home. Because when my mom was around, my mom was always doing the meals. Like, she was always cooking the meals, and that I really appreciated that I had her. My mom was a huge help. She was a huge source of strength to me at that time when I had my baby. She made that phase really easy for me. But even though I still had my challenges, because I couldn't burden her with a lot. Okay, so that was it. I learned to do it one task at a time. I decided this morning I'm waking up and I'm not doing anything. I just want to press phone and breastfeed my baby, because breastfeeding her was a major task. Breastfeeding my baby was a task on its own. So once I can pull through that task, I just shut down and rest. Or when I'm able to do other things I need to do, I just do them one at a time. So that was how I actually faced the third challenge of choosing between doing the house chores and getting enough rest. So there you go with my 3 major challenges I faced as a first-time mom. The first was my baby's health. The second was breastfeeding my baby. The third was choosing between doing the house chores and getting enough rest. So yeah, I found my way around those 3, and the experiences made me a better person. I learned a lot from those experiences. So yeah, I just thought to share with you, just in case you know someone that might be having similar challenges, or if you yourself are going through similar things, wondering how to cope with a certain challenge. If it's any of these 3 I've mentioned, especially that of breastfeeding, a lot of mothers, have challenges with that. Anyway, so this is me sharing my 3 major challenges I faced as a first-time mom. Thank you for watching this video. If you do like this video, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, okay, please, and also subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that as soon as a new video is released, you'll be the first person to know. Thank you so much for watching. Stay blessed. Bye bye.